Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Alex, behind the camera is Emma, and today we are in Scotland for the first ever time and we're having some delicious Scottish food.
After London, our next stop was Glasgow. And after a fairly hectic yet scenic train journey due to a landslide, we finally arrived in our first Scottish city. The hostel was less than a 15-minute walk from the central station, so we got our first glimpse of the city streets before checking into our room for the night, ready to enjoy the city the next day.
Welcome to my first ever day in Scotland.
I know, it's so embarrassing. We've been travelling for so many years and Emma has never been to Scotland. Unforgivable.
Mate, you came here when you were 6 and you told me you don't remember anything.
I told you I remember everything. It's probably you just not listening again.
Brilliant. I am very pleasantly surprised by this gorgeous weather today in Glasgow.
We have been told to pack all of the warm clothes we own and look, it's so sunny.
Yeah.
So sunny.
Should have worn shorts and flip-flops.
Winter in Scotland isn't. I did not think of this.
It's bloody lovely. We are starting our day stay at the Necropolis and the Cathedral, and then we'll be working our way back towards the centre, which is where our Safestay Hostel is located.
I really didn't want to interrupt, but I've just realised that necropolis and necrophilia are linked.
Well, when you hear necro, you do think of just death in general.
Well, I didn't, but now I thought necro, I think of sexy death.
Well, I think that says more about you than it does about the word, mate. Whilst we're on the subject of morbidity, kind of, we thought we would bring up the C word virus, which is quite a hot topic of conversation right now. We've had a lot of comments and a lot of questions about this, especially on the last video, and we do want to confirm that we are keeping a very close watch on the Gov UK travel advice and making sure we're following that.
We're doing extreme measures. For example, I am washing my hands after every single time I go to the bathroom now. Basically, we just wanted to assure you that we are continually assessing the situation. We do understand that we should travel in a responsible way, and when we get to York, before we start the mainland European part of this adventure, we are going to assess the whole trip. But enough of this serious stuff, we've got some old gravestones to see.
The Glasgow Necropolis is just a 30-minute walk from Glasgow Central, or a 10-minute drive. The necropolis is a Victorian cemetery set on a hill behind Glasgow Cathedral, with 50,000 people buried there. Not only is the cemetery itself incredibly impressive, but the views from the hill looking out over the city and the cathedral are beautiful. Glasgow Cathedral was opened in 1136 and is the oldest cathedral in mainland Scotland, as well as being the oldest building in Glasgow itself. Entrance to the cathedral is free, although donations are welcome.
When I knew I was coming to Scotland, the first thing that came to my mind, it wasn't the rolling hills, the castles, the lochs, even the haggis. It was the deep-fried Mars bar. As a kid, I absolutely loved these. In my small little hometown, there was one place that sold them, and because I loved it so much, I actively went and got a job at that fish and chip shop. So at the end of my shift, for my slave labour, I would get at least a little bit of Mars bar, and it was incredible. So Emma has always told me she's never going to like one, she's never even going to try one. Luckily she's agreed to today, and I know that she's going to love it. And I also know that any of you that are watching that haven't had one, if you come to Scotland, make sure you do, because you're also going to love it.
Alex has assured me that this is going to be good, but I am a little bit apprehensive. I do want to eat it while it's still hot, so I'm not going to talk for too long. They give me a little chippy stick here, so I'm going to...
I'm disappointed you're going for cutting.
I'm not going to cut, I'm just going to go straight in. Oh my god, it's so squidgy. Oh dear. Okay.
Tell them how good it is. Tell them right now that you're going to quit Travel Beans and start working in the fish and chip shop.
That's actually really bloody good. I'm really shocked that I like that. Okay. I couldn't eat a whole one. I would vomit.
You told me you would never like it.
Oh my god, that's actually really good. Mmm. It's so gooey and chocolatey. So I don't like Mars bars. That doesn't even taste like Mars bar. It's like gooey, caramelly. Oh. Mmm.
The Lighthouse in Glasgow is Scotland's centre for design and architecture, as well as a great place to get panoramic views of the city from above. For the view from the water tower, head up to the 3rd floor and climb the spiral staircase around the back of the Macintosh room.
I have heard pretty much throughout my life that Glasgow in particular was not that attractive of a city and kind of something that shouldn't be on our radar. And from the moment we've been here, we don't really know why. Like, what are people on about? I love this mix of like old meets new, this industrial, hard-working city meets these sort of new modern buildings. Walking along the street, make sure you don't make the mistake of just looking eye level. Make sure you look up, because that is where the real beauty lies here.
After wandering around the streets and taking it all in, it was time to do what we do best, eat. We popped back to our hostel to ask for some recommendations and made our way to a place just 5 minutes round the corner.
Non-Brits might be surprised that Indian food is a huge part of British culture. Well, actually, maybe some Brits might be surprised. I'm not here to police your surprise. What I'm here for is to show you the Indian experience. And actually, our unofficial national dish of the UK is chicken tikka masala. And guess where it comes from? Not this restaurant, because the real restaurant is closed right now, but Glasgow is where the chicken tikka masala is from. Now you've digested that bit of information, I want to show you what you need to do if you come to a British curry house. And the first thing that sets us apart from India is you're gonna have to get a big old pint of Cobra. I have no idea how this is just the beer that you have at a curry place. I don't think we've really seen it outside of curry places, but every Brit knows you have to have one here. You're gonna feel like crap after. You're gonna be very, very full. I don't know why we add this on top of the curry, but it works.
It makes you so bloated, doesn't it?
Oh, but it's so good. Why don't we drink anywhere else?
The pakora is one of the most popular dishes to order in an Indian restaurant in Glasgow. There are a variety of pakoras, especially at this restaurant. They even have a haggis pakora, but we've gone for a traditional vegetable one. And I want to eat it actually before it gets cold as well, so I'm just going to tuck it. First bite, I reckon I'm going to eat it without any sauce, just to see what it tastes like. Okay. I've ordered pakoras many times in restaurants back in England, and they never taste like this before. The main comparison for me is that usually inside feels really stodgy. This is super crispy and light. It's amazing.
In the UK, going for a curry has become kind of an event. It's something that we look forward to, we get so excited. It's different than having a curry at home. One thing that we do that I learned a lot from travelling, especially in Asian cultures, is that they love to share food. And in England, even though this is kind of a sharing idea, we order one. You can taste mine.
That's so true.
But you can't have like a big section of it. You can have a little taste, but this is my curry.
Yeah, I've ordered it. It belongs to me.
What you'll find from the UK curries as well is that there's a range of different meats. Chicken, lamb and like prawn, fish curries, very, very popular. When we're in India, we're not seeing that very often, so that's definitely something that I believe has been infused from the Britishness of the culture. And finally, before I get to tuck into this amazing looking feast, is that I just want to tell you that as an Englishman, if any other countries in the UK do something good, they're British. So, Andy Murray, British guy, first British guy to win Wimbledon in a very long time. If it's bad, we are going to distance ourselves from that. So basically, if this is bad, it's Scottish. If it's good, it's British. I think I can spot a good curry from a mile off, so I can tell this is probably going to be a lovely British curry. And I don't know how I've seemed to take on a role of doing food reviews on this channel, considering I really don't buy into food culture and I find it a little bit pretentious. And I kind of hate doing this, but for some reason, here I am again.
The people want it.
The people have spoken. But what I would do if I was to come to a curry house is I would usually ignore the rice option. I would go for a garlic naan, which this one looks very good.
It does look good.
I would get my bread, I'd get myself a bit of meat, and I kind of use this as like a sort of pinching claw.
Like a grabbing device.
And then, as you can see, it works perfectly for scooping. You're gonna get some on your fingers, so if you're one of those people that don't like getting food on your fingers, sorry. And then, here comes the shove. The traditional shove.
Sexy. Wow. I mean, I can tell from your reaction so far that you like it, and you're not usually a tikka masala person.
Never ever ordered the tikka masala, but when I knew I was coming to Glasgow, I knew this was the first thing that I needed to eat. Oh, it's incredible. Honestly.
Really?
It's perfect, and I just love British Indian food. I know it's going to come across as uncultured. I like the food in India. Can I say I prefer this?
Yeah, I mean...
Am I allowed to say my true feelings? Because if that's the case, I prefer British Indian food to Indian food. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Really? Oh.
I'm guessing you want to eat.
Yes, please. Although there are a lot of meat curry dishes in the UK, vegetarians will obviously have no problem, as Indian food tends to be incredibly veggie friendly. I've gone for a paneer curry with spinach, ginger and garlic. Okay, yeah, that's incredible. It's very creamy. I think this is a really nice... Ooh! I just got a hit of chili there too. This would be a really nice one to share because it is so creamy. Like, I could imagine maybe if you have all of it, it could get a bit sickly. But, I mean, I'll be just fine, don't worry.
After a curry, there is only one thing left to do. And don't feel embarrassed about it. No one's immune to this. You're gonna need to have a big, fat nap.
2 hours later.
Don't you hate when you go for a 20-minute power nap and it accidentally turns into 2-3 hour sleep? And then you feel like death.
I feel like that happens every time I go to take a 20-minute power nap, to be fair. But I think we do have to come back.
I have to interrupt you and say curry coma.
Carry on. Although this is our first time in Glasgow, it certainly will not be our last. We didn't allocate enough time for this place because it's lovely and one video certainly is not enough. We are two very tired beans and it is definitely time for us to go to bed. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a big fat thumbs up. And also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you're old here and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And the notification bell for if you would like to be notified of our future videos.
All of those things. And I don't gonna have the energy for this.
Sleepy.
But it's my first time in Scotland, so I'll try my best. The back of my mind, I'm thinking out loud. Oot.
That's what I was thinking too. I was waiting for it.
Can I make it work?
I feel like you could.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And beans oot!
That was so bad.